And what is your confidence level in Caleb Williams? Brett, I know he's playing a little bit better. He's a little bit more in control, but when you're relying on hero ball against Green Bay, I don't think it's going to go well.
No, Caleb's not playing better.
Okay, good. Okay,
he
good.
was
I didn't think
terrible
so.
last week.
He was terrible. It is, as a Lions fan, so frustrating to watch them win 9 games with Caleb playing the way he is. It's like, but whatever. Hey, kudos to Ben Johnson. The approach with team building was correct. Rebuilding the interior offensive line. What they did to the Eagles needs to be studied. Like, they just, literally ran right through their face. I mean, and no one does that to the Eagles. Monungai and Swift is the new Monty and Gibbs.
What?
Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome. What's going on? Welcome to the Week 14 edition of Matchup Points here at fantasypoints.com. I'm John Hansen. Our guys are here, Graham Barfield and Brett Whitefield, ready to put Week 13 in the rear view forever. By the way, I'm not even going to go back and look at the box scores from that week ever again because I thought it was pretty bad. Maybe I'm overacting just a tad. Week 14 is upon us. We do have 4 teams off. I guess final week of the buys. So let's get right into it, and we'll start with the Thursday night affair. I do have a ranking of the games this week by expected totals. This one would be numero uno. 54.5. So, Brett, I'll go to you, Mr. Detroit Lions. Wax poetic about Mr. Jared Goff, the schematics of this matchup here. And it's a tough one because we're recording this on Wednesday night. We don't know about Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, it's, all the medical experts are saying he's probably not going to go. He obviously hasn't practiced yet this week. I think, gun to my head, I would bet money that he plays just because it's Amon-Ra and he's played through this injury before. Actually, he did miss 1 game though with a similar injury in 2022, I think. But yeah, I guess for now we just have to treat it like he's not playing, right? So you got Jared Goff against Dallas, who, Dallas's defense has definitely been better than it was to start the season. They were historically bad the first 5-6 weeks of the season. Then they've gotten a lot better since Quinnen Williams and Donovan Ezeraku coming on. So they still haven't been great, though. They're still giving up a ton of explosive plays. They still play that Matt Eberflus cover 3, which Jared Goff has traditionally killed. In fact, you go back to 2022, no quarterback in the league has more passing yards and touchdowns against cover 3 and cover 2 than Jared Goff. And those are the 2 shells Dallas plays the most. The Lions have had some tricky matchups with their offensive line this year where they've just gotten punked. But those matchups have been against teams that have really good blitz packages and will attack you in the A gaps with linebackers and stuff like that. Dallas doesn't really do that. Their blitz package is really vanilla and it's not very efficient. So I really think I think Vegas is right. They got this as a 54.5 total. I think this is an absolute shootout. I don't think either defense will be able to stop each other. So I love pretty much everyone in this game minus probably Javonte Williams, actually.
Yeah, Graham, what pops for you in this game? I am tempted to take an under on Jake Ferguson. Doesn't have a great schematic matchup. I think it'll be all Pickens and Lamb, but if we're going to get 55 points in the damn game, then everyone's probably going to eat.
Yeah, that was my one lean too, is this is probably not the spot for Ferguson. I was just looking this up in our fantasy points data suite before he came on. Ferguson's averaging 0.8 of a yard per route run. Last time I checked, that's really bad against man coverage. Really, really bad. It's mainly like Pickens is just going off. Lamb is obviously, he can kill any coverage, but Pickens especially 3.5 yards per route run against man. Obviously Lions run a league high rate of man coverage this week at 40%. I want to ask you, Brett, Terrion Arnold was going to miss this game. Do you think they stick with their usual man coverage here?
I think Terrion Arnold missing this game is probably good for them.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been hating on him all year.
True. He's been a little better since he came back though, right?
He has been, but you look at all the games they've struggled in, it's when he's played, and the games that they've unexpectedly tore it up, like I think about the Tampa game, he's missed. I hate to say it, but it's kind of true. Looking like maybe not the best pick for Brad Holmes at this point. So, but yeah, joking aside, I don't think you can get them to deviate too much. Like they're going to play man coverage.
Yeah.
They're going to come after you with the blitz and stunts, and that requires man coverage on the back end. So I think you're going to see a lot of man.
I think the fascinating play here on the prop world is Ere Kennedy.
Yeah.
Ask not what Tom Kennedy can do for you. Ask if he can go over 30.5 yards is my thing. But you came on the VSiN show about 2 hours before we're recording this, and you pumped him up. I did my Kennedy. I don't know if that helped, but it was 28.5, and it's already up to 30.5. But here's the thing, Brett. Like, if you play it now and Amon-Ra plays, you might be screwed. But if you play it now and Amon-Ra doesn't go, you win, I would say.
For sure. I got it at 27.5 even, so even a yard under the 28.5 there. Yeah, I mean, it's a little risky. Conventional wisdom says Amon-Ra will not play in this game. I just know Amon-Ra, like personally as a Lions fan, I just look at this and I go, the Lions' backs are against the wall. They haven't been like, it hasn't been this tight for them in a season since 2022. Like, they have to win this game. I just knowing how competitive Amon-Ra is, I can't see him. Like Campbell joked yesterday, he's like, we might have to kill him to stop him from playing in this game.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about making the playoffs, right? I mean, because last year, they did go down to the freaking end for that number 1 seed.
Yeah. Sorry, making the playoffs. Like it's uncomfortable if they don't win this week. I mean, playoff chances pretty much go down to 20% or something like that.
I mean, that's insane.
The NFC West is just loaded. They're loaded.
And you got to just give it up to the Bears. No, you don't. I mean, no, you don't. I'm sorry. I think that's somewhat fraudulent, but hey, a record is what it is, I guess, at this juncture. All right. Well, it's a start 'em if you got 'em game. Let's be honest here. I don't think we need to spend a ton more time on it when we're expecting 55 points, and we've got this is a rarity, like a good number of pretty proven players in this game, which is not the case for Seattle at Atlanta. And Graham, I know we talk Ken Walker, that I am officially out forever. This guy is getting worse. I feel like at this point, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but I don't think the guy can do anything but an outside freaking zone run. Like that's it.
Yeah, I was kicking myself. I played him in DFS in my big lineup last week, and it was like 2:45 in the afternoon. Game's going on, and I'm like, man, I knew it was going to happen. It was halftime. He had 6 carries for 13 yards. Charbonnet mixed in. Then obviously he had, Charbonnet had the kind of, that game was over, but especially put in the dust touchdown. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's a backfield split. I think Walker still looks good. He's explosive, creating big plays. But yeah, I mean, they're just going to keep playing Charbonnet. It's unfortunate because I feel like we all kind of got the Seattle analysis right. Offense coordinator upgrade, much better offense than everybody was expecting. But yeah, Walker and Charbonnet have both basically been flex plays all year. JSN's about to lose his mind. That's really my only Seattle analysis. He's going to have a massive bounce back game after, Seahawks just didn't have to throw this last week, John.
After he knocked me out of the FFPC playoffs.
Oh,
by
no.
getting 4 points last week. Well, it wasn't all him. I got 6 points out of Justin Jefferson and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, come on now. We're talking PPR here. All right. In America. It's brutal. Absolute brutality. Well, Brett, any thoughts there? Because am I crazy, or is Ken Walker getting worse? I almost feel like he can't run inside at all.
He's big play hunting. It reminds me of Saquon at Penn State. It's just like, he just wants to go big play hunt, and he'll hit.
He almost had one. He got tackled.
He had one. Harrison Smith.
He had one. And he got tackled at the ankles.
I lost my prop on that.
It was a 24-yarder or something. Could have been more.
Yeah. Oh, he was taking that to the house.
Yeah, for sure. So, I don't know, if Seattle wants that. They might want that from him. I don't know. Hey, Charbonnet will be our grinded out guy, and then you just go hunt for big plays, man. And
you're right. You're right. But when it comes down to it, they need a short yardage carry on top of the goal. They'll use that Holani guy over Walker.
The AJ Barner tush push over Walker.
Exactly. But anyway, just saying. And Graham, here's the other thing. You mentioned Barner. I know he's been good. I see it every freaking week, but I still have some trust issues, and I'm not using anyone in Seattle other than JSN.
Yep. Even after they got Shaheed, I mean, it's still been the same thing. It's all JSN. Yeah, I mean, Barner's target share has ticked up just a little bit, but I'm with you. I mean, he had the 11 target game 3 weeks ago, but 4 and 5 in his last 2. You can't really play anybody on Seattle with any confidence besides JSN.
Brett, it looks Well, it doesn't look great for Drake London. I know he was not at practice on Wednesday, not the end of the world. But what are your thoughts on Kirk Cousins, the Kirk Cousins-led Falcons? Hey, got the ball to Pitts last week, got the ball a little bit more to Bijan. It seemed like Kirky is okay as long as he doesn't have to move.
Yeah, I mean, he looks fine to me. He looks like the same guy.
Who'd you rather have, Kirky or Aaron Rodgers right now?
Kirky.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, Rodgers might have a little bit more competitiveness left in him than Kirky does, but Kirk, I think, has a little bit more of the
I like how you adopted Kirky too as well. Thank you for that.
But yeah, no, he looks fine. Like he doesn't have his dude in London, so that's going to hurt the offense. And then Kyle Pitts has weeks where he's point shaving and weeks where he's not point shaving. So
sure seems that way. And Mooney kind of came up a little small. Graham, like, is it just give up on him?
Yep, I'm done. We gave him a little bit of love last week. Separation metrics were coming up. Yeah, just 5 targets in a game without Drake London. He had 3 targets the previous game. Had the big play from Cousins on a great ball. That was a great route too by Mooney on that touchdown. But that's really all he's done this year is disappoint us and come up small. So yeah, I think this passing offense really is just Pitts. You know, the games that London's missed, his target share has been above 20% in each game.
Tyler Algier had more yards than Mooney did in that game.
Ooh,
if that tells you all
35. Yeah. Oh, what a disaster. I mean, how do you catch 2 balls?
Yeah.
You know, how do you catch 2 balls?
I want to cut him some
times.
slack. But, I mean, he had a broken collarbone. He hurt his hamstring this year.
Right.
It's season to forget.
By the way, that game is, believe it or not, it's actually the 5th highest total.
Yeah, that speaks to the slate. That speaks to this slate, John.
Oh, 100%. 44.5 is just boring. Well, let's move on here. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. I just want the season to end so I can stop looking at Aaron Rodgers and this sorry ass offense and Tomlin. I mean, it is so bad. I don't know where else. I mean, I guess I got nothing. They're gonna try and run the ball again, Brett. You know, Tomlin talking about wanting to get a big boy out there. Like, well, they don't have anyone who's big other than Caleb Johnson. So I guess they want to be more physical in the running attack. So, I mean, I would assume that means Jalen Warren.
I guess. I mean, this whole offense is such a disaster. Baltimore surprisingly cleaned up their run defense a little bit too. I know it was really bad early in the year. They're like hovering around 4 yards a carry the last 5 games. I don't trust them to run the football. I mean, they just played the Bills, right? The Bills have the worst run defense
100%
in the AFC possibly, and they couldn't run the ball against them. So
I mean, they're like a non-professional offense.
It's really bad. I mean, I'm not calling DK anymore. He's officially not okay, Metcalf.
Right.
Because he stinks.
Well, I've been calling him Decoy for a while. Decoy Metcalf. I mean, very highly paid decoy. Well, and over on for Baltimore, I mean, oh my God, like Lamar, I thought looked a little bit better running it, but this offense continues to just be lifeless. It's as if everyone knows that they're not going anywhere. They're not making a deep run, and it seems like everyone's just flat. Brett, go ahead, Graham.
I question the play calling. I thought last week's game plan was a disaster. 10 carries for Derrick Henry against the Bengals in a game that was pretty close throughout. I mean, it's not like the Bengals are blowing them out by any means.
Yeah.
It's a little, Lamar's not healthy. We've been saying that for weeks, but that was not Todd Monken's best game.
No. Yeah. Always a million things going on here. It is a good matchup for Zay Flowers, Brett. I mean, what's your trust level there? I mean, didn't he just miss a big play last week?
Yeah. I don't know if it was a drop or a contested situation he should have came down with, but Lamar looks a little busted to me too. He doesn't look healthy. And what's weird is the vibes just look bad. Like everyone's checked out.
Exactly.
And it's weird because they had a shot to go run the table here and win this division, and they just don't really look engaged. I agree with Graham. The play calling is super sus. The Bengals have one of the worst run defenses in the league, and Henry, and like Graham said, it was a close game until really late in the fourth quarter. Henry had 10 carries. I mean, this is the time of year he should be killing everyone. So maybe that's a sign about what they think of Henry, what he's got in the tank, I guess. I don't know.
They gave him 3 carries on the opening drive. I think he had 40 yards on those carries, and then it was like they just went away from him. They played Rasheed Ali. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah. Not to mention the fact that, the defense, I know it's Joe Burrow, but the guy hasn't played in 2 months, and he looked like, I know he was a little rusty, but he didn't look like a guy who hadn't played in 2 months.
I gave him 48 dropbacks. That's crazy.
He had 4, like I'm calling them extraterrestrial throws, where you're like, this dude is not from this planet.
Right.
Like 4 of those in his first game back after not playing in 2 months. I mean, it's unreal. Yeah.
How much credit do you give Burrow, and how much blame do you give the Ravens for just being lifeless? I mean, Burrow killed them last year, and he just stepped off the bus, and it was just a continuation, despite missing 2 months.
I mean, some of it, I guess the Ravens, but these were tight window throws he's putting in there. Like,
right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, it's kind of a weird addition of matchup points here. We are late in the season. We're clearly frustrated with some of these offenses, and it's just very hard to get behind players on either of these teams, other than maybe Zay Flowers. Anything else, Graham, in this game stand out to you at all? Probably not, right?
No, I think the pendulum has to swing back, and they give the ball to Henry 18 times in this spot, but yeah, we've clearly seen it go the other way. I said that last week as well.
Okay, that's a great way to bring it up. What do you think, Brett, about the Steelers stopping Henry? I don't feel warm and fuzzy about Henry. I remember the Steelers handling Jonathan Taylor about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, the Steelers, it's weird because they've been up and down with the run defense all year. They've had these games where they get shellacked. Like James Cook just annihilated them. Ray Davis just annihilated them. I always look, run defense is such a mental thing. Like there's a mentality required to be good at it. And when I see a guy like Cam Hayward in the post-game press conference making up stories about Josh Allen, because it just, to me, the vibes are getting really bad in Pittsburgh to the point where they just seem like this is not the same defensive line we've seen in years past. So
right.
I think if Baltimore wants to commit to it and come in there and make a statement, I think it's there for the taking. The question is, like, do we trust that to happen or not? And so to your point, I don't feel great about that, but
right.
I mean, they play better out of the bye, but their last 4 games, they've given up 100 more yards in each game, and 2 of which were against teams that don't really run the ball that well, in the Bengals and the Chargers. So
okay, yeah. Well, battle of the bad vibes. I'm putting my chips on the Ravens. Obviously, it is in Baltimore, and obviously, like huge ramifications, obviously too. But the Steelers are not winning this division. There's just no way. Anyways, let's move on we'll do another one here. Bengals Bills. Now, this one should be good. This is second highest total on the board at 52.5. But Graham, I'll go to you. If Dalton Kincaid can't go for the Bills, who you got? I'm going with nobody.
I mean, there's such an underneath funnel. I guess it could be Shakir, but he got basically blanked last week, kind of surprisingly. I mean, Knox, obviously, it's just, you pray he scores a touchdown. I do think Kincaid plays, though, John. He got in 2 limited practices on Thursday and Friday last week. They're trying to get him back involved.
He's going for 100.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, if he plays, he's like borderline must start. I mean, it's like every tight end goes off against them, especially, these guys who can, move over the middle and have some athleticism, because the linebackers and the safeties for the Bengals certainly don't. John, this strikes me as like just a smoke him if you got him game, especially if we get T. Higgins back in this spot. It seems like he's trending up. He was limited in practice today. If he plays, like everybody's full go. Bengals have their full cast of weapons. We'll get Kincaid back hopefully for the Bills, kind of give Allen some upside over the middle against these really bad Bengals linebackers. It's a really fun game. This is like one of the few really fun games we have on the slate.
Have they made any changes, Brett, in terms of the Bengal running game? Maybe, I don't know, more gap runs or something? Because they did turn it around a little bit here about maybe 6 weeks ago with Chase Brown, and it's doing it every week.
Yeah, they've simplified a little bit. They've gone more gap. What's really interesting, though, is Flacco wasn't in the gun as much as Burrow is. And so I think some of the under center looks really helped with their disguise and getting downhill.
Well, that's been my big complaint about Burrow for a couple of years now.
Yeah, he doesn't do the under center stuff. So we'll see if there's a regression coming. But ultimately, I think they should be fine running the ball here. The Bills, as noted, have been horrendous defending the run. Really only, last week against the Steelers was the only time they've really stopped the run consistently all year. So
Right. Yeah, and by the way, if you're playing the Bills, like I understand Josh Allen has a bazooka and they do have some guys here, but like aren't you like just loading up and selling out to stop James Cook at this point?
yeah, and that's what teams are kind of doing. They just don't have anyone on the outside that can win in the pass game. So I mean, here's the thing. The Bills' offensive line is really good. Even their backups, like Alec Anderson as their swing tackle, is a very good player. They're dynamic, and then they tag read option onto a lot of stuff. So you have to hold Josh Allen accountable. They get a lot of favorable box counts.
Right.
I think I was actually just diving in the other day. They're the 5th best team in the league at forcing favorable box count situations. So like a box advantage, which is why their run game is so stinking good. I did want to say, though, I think Shakir and Kincaid eat in this game. Graham kind of alluded to it, but the Bengals are so bad at tackling. They're giving up 9.5 yards per attempt on throws behind the line of scrimmage. That's like mind-blowingly bad. The next closest team is like 7, which is nuts.
That should be Shakir all day.
Yeah, Shakir and Kincaid on the short stuff too, and they're really bad on throws in the 0 to 9 range as well. They're the only team in the league that give up more yards per attempt on throws behind the line of scrimmage than they do on intermediate throws. So
it seems impossible.
It seems impossible, actually. Yeah, their linebackers can't tackle, their safeties can't tackle. It's a really big problem. So I think Shakir should eat really, really good in this.
Yeah, that's fair. The data looks good too. 2.57 yards per route run against cover 3 and cover 6. And I love Shakir, but man, he's been bad and the offense has been frustrating. But yeah, somebody's got to eat. We got the second highest total on the board here, and it's definitely Shakir. Let's see here. Well, I guess we don't need anyone to tell us to start Jamar Chase or T. Higgins if he goes, or Burrow at this point. Wouldn't be surprised if Burrow had a so-so game, but hey, pretty damn good compared to 22 craptastic quarterbacks otherwise in the NFL. The Tennessee Titans at the Cleveland Browns. I did see that the schematics pop for DK a little bit here, Brett, but I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on the Tennessee Titan offense? It's not going well with Mike McCoy. Big shocker.
It's not going well. I will say Cam Ward does like at least one thing a week where I'm like, oh man, that dude's got it in there.
Sometimes multiple times.
Yeah, sometimes multiple times.
Yeah,
but he's like he's like my golf game. There's like one moment around where I'm like, I'm gonna play next week too, and that's Ward. I just keep coming back. Like if we can just find a way to get him a little more consistent, it'd be fun. But for now, man, this is rough, and this defense is so good. It's hard to see him doing anything here.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. That's why I gave up golf. It's like I swing one, I hit it 300, and then I can't do it again for like 8 more swings. But anyways, Graham, anything popping here for you? I will say that they are getting a little bit more involved with Judkins in the passing game. The week before they did the Wildcat. I thought that was good coaching, quite frankly.
Yeah, Judkins, amazing spot here. Dylan Sampson has a calf injury. He's probably not going to play. To your point, they were kind of getting Judkins a little more involved in the pass game, and then if Sampson misses, I mean, it's just like wheels up for this bell cow roll. I mean, Jerome Ford stinks, and basically we haven't heard from him since September. I will say the Titans have been playing significantly better run defense as of late, especially since they got Jeffrey Simmons back. But still, I mean, this is like Judkins. I mean, just perfect spot, at home favored against this Titans team. I had a fun stat for this game. So this total is 33.5, 33.5 over under. I don't think it's going to be snowy. So it's usually these types of totals we only see in like snow games. The other 4 games that have been played with a total below 36 points this year have all been Browns games. So the bottom 5 games this season on the docket have all been Browns games. I think this might be the one that doesn't have weather. Last week was kind of windy in that San Francisco game. Just really, really ugly. Brett, I wanted to ask you about Shedeur in his second start. Obviously didn't have to do a whole lot. They were very, very run heavy. They didn't really try to do too much in that second half. Any, type of, improvement week over week?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the accuracy popped. And a lot of it was short throws. So he didn't really put the ball in harm's way. but he's still holding the ball for an eternity. I think he took 3 sacks in that game actually. And
yeah, he is
not a very good pass rush. So, yeah, I mean, nothing that's like, how do I phrase it? Nothing that's like divorce worthy, like he's just like all these other young quarterbacks. He looks like a rookie, and I wouldn't say he's playing any worse than a guy like Tyler Shuck or JJ McCarthy or anything like that. So
you're not ready to go back to Deshaun Watson?
God, no. But I mean, that's just because we know what Deshaun Watson is, though.
I know. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I was kind of kidding there. I mean, the guy hasn't played at a high level in literally a half a decade. Like, yeah. I don't know if that's ever happened to where a guy comes back after that long of a layoff. Well, Graham, they somehow ran the ball last week. Does that do anything for you with Pollard? I mean, because meanwhile, Spears still caught like 7 balls.
No, I can't. I mean, they have a team total of 14.5. I mean, it's
yeah.
Well, I can't do it.
I wouldn't be shocked if he got 19 carries in the game for what it's worth, but he's just brutal. Absolute brutality. Let's move on to Indy at Jacksonville. And Brett, where are the Colts right now? I mean, Daniel Jones seemed to quit himself, handle it fairly well last week. Obviously, our guy Pierce did very well. Josh Downs made a couple of plays. Taylor, they're getting to move on the passing attack. Are they back ascending now, or are they just kind of hanging in there?
Yeah, I thought the offense looked relatively good against a very good defense. They made a concerted effort to get the ball up pretty quickly. That was evident. They had Taylor going at times in the game too, which was a good sign. The Jaguars defense has been at times very good this year.
Yeah,
we'll see though. They're not near where the Texans are, right? So I think this is a good matchup for the Colts. They played this year once already, right? Or no? No, they got 2 against. Okay.
Yeah, they're playing again in week 17.
Yeah, but I thought DJ looked relatively good. Accuracy was fine and got the ball out quickly. So
yeah, and then Graham. One thing about Indy's D is they've been run on, so I'm thinking a little ETN here. And if you're Liam Cohen, I understand Tootin is okay, but he's also averaging like 2.8 yards a carry or lower in his last couple of games. I feel like I'm leaning into ETN a little bit in this one.
Yeah, the Jags have been leaning into him in every game except for one, really, this year, where Tootin got the hot hand. It's mainly been ETN. It was a little tighter last week, but it's still ETN. The one angle I wanted to go in this game is I love Brenton Strange. Colts are they've been basically like a tight end funnel all year. It's because they've played a ton of zone coverage. They kind of force everything in the middle, and they just don't have a very good linebacking group. Brenton Strange is in a great spot here. Colts giving up the second most yards per game to opposing tight ends, only the Bengals allowing more. And I think they're going to play a lot more zone this week. Sauce Gardner is out. He'll probably miss the rest of this regular season. And guys, Brenton Strange has been freaking awesome against zone this year. Leads the team in yards per route run. Over the last 2 weeks since he came back, he's averaging nearly 5 yards per route run against zone. I think he's an awesome play this week.
I don't know if it's this simple, but this is twice now where I've gotten Schultz wrong because of the man zone thing. The first time was against Denver. I didn't realize they would scrap their man coverage with no Surtain. And then this one, as soon as Sauce went down, it seemed like Schultz started eating. I don't think it's a coincidence probably because they probably did go to zone. But Graham, real quick, can you cut Brian Thomas? I say yes.
In shallow leagues, yeah, you've been able to cut him for a while in like 10-team leagues. I don't think you can in deep leagues, especially. This is one of the worst weeks I can remember at receiver in a long time. I have him on the sit list again. Jacoby Myers is trending up.
He's like the fourth option.
Well, he's going to have to play a ton. I mean, Parker Washington is hurt. We'll see if he's able to play this week. But, I mean, BTJ will be out there on the field. I don't know if he'll actually be earning targets. That to me, is still Strange and Myers right now.
What a disaster. Yeah. Absolute disaster. And still not playing well, Trevor Lawrence there, Brett. I
think he's had a couple good weeks to build on back to back.
Yeah, I agree.
He's looks – the confidence seems to have come back, actually. And this is a really good week for him. And I love the Brenton Strange call. The Colts defense without DeForest Buckner, they have no pass rush. I mean, it's alarming. Their time to pressure right now is like 2.85 seconds. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's really bad, guys. Lawrence is going to have all day. And we know his Achilles heel is that he likes to play things a little too fast, right? So him just having the confidence to sit back there and get through his progressions, I think it's going to be a really big deal for him in this game. And I think Strange has a great game. I think Jacoby Myers is definitely a startable guy, actually. So,
100%. I mean, I was just going to say, if he's going to have time in the pocket, then he's going to throw it downfield to Myers.
Yep.
They're doing that every week now. Anything else here, Graham, to close out that game?
Yeah, just to echo Brett's point, I think Lawrence is playing legit well. Had a good game against the Chargers. Box score didn't show up. Then last week box score was much better, and I think this game obviously has a chance to shoot out if if Colts offense gets rolling again. This game could be the highest scoring game on the slate.
Let's move on. Washington Commanders at the Minnesota Vikings, and I do believe, Brett, that we're going to learn a lot about the Vikings these next 4 weeks, because obviously they are in the dirt. They're currently taking a dirt nap as far as playoffs go. But I look at their schedule and I'm like, if they're ever going to do anything consistently, like go on a little run where they actually play well for more than one game, this is it. DC, Dallas, New York Giants, Detroit Lions. I think the schematic set up very well for McCarthy and for Jefferson, really almost everybody. Their running game, everything. So where are you at with DC's defense? Obviously, I don't know. You probably don't have anything good to say about the Vikings because they haven't done crap in their last 8 quarters. But yeah.
Yeah, I got one Vikings angle I like, but first to answer your question, DC's defense is awful. Like they're really bad. I totally agree with you that this is the stretch where the Vikings need to show something. We call these culture breakers.
Yeah.
This stretch of games, this is where Kevin O'Connell will find out who's still bought into the vision and who's not, and they'll move on from those players that check out. So
yeah, who's a front runner and who isn't?
Yeah, exactly. And so these are, you hate to be in the situation you're in, but you also sometimes you look forward to these moments because you get to find out a lot about your team. So this is a great opportunity for this whole offense. And my angle for the Vikings is Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
If he's healthy, I know he's a little banged up, which stinks. You look at Aaron Jones's stretch for the remainder of the season, he's absolutely a guy who could surprise people in the fantasy playoffs here.
100%.
He looks fantastic, and they played some of the worst run defenses in the league back to back, right? Yeah, Washington, you mentioned the Giants.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a really favorable schedule for him. So, and he owns the Lions. Even when the Lions are really good run defense, Aaron Jones absolutely owns the Lions. So, in
my players to trade and trade for article, Aaron Jones is a player to trade for.
Yep.
To your point. So, and again, I have Jefferson on there too, but we're at unprecedented levels, Graham, with Justin Jefferson's trade value. How crazy would it be? Let's say you have a hole. Let's say you've got 2 really, really good quarterbacks. Maybe one of them is Drake May and he's off this week. And you have a massive hole at wide receiver. How crazy would it be to trade for Justin Jefferson right now? Pretty crazy.
I don't think I can do it. I mean, McCarthy's got the lowest catchable throw rate in the league.
Okay.
I know the matchups are good, but the matchups have kind of been pretty good. They just haven't done anything. I was hoping we would get like a low-end wide receiver 2 season out of Jefferson with this kind of like, much lower ceiling passing offense. But now I'm like, if we get a wide receiver 3 year out of him, rest of way, I think we'll be happy. To Brett's point, it's just an awesome matchup, but it's really hard to have a whole lot of confidence. I will say, when I was going through the game totals yesterday, putting together some notes for this week, the Vikings do have the same team total at 21.8 as the Eagles and the Dolphins. So the markets are kind of giving us a little bit of insight of how good of a matchup this is for the Vikings.
Yeah.
But I mean, at this point with Jefferson, I mean, you're just praying for a touchdown because the yardage, receptions, all of that just has not been there.
Yeah, I mean, there have been some games like Brett, the Lions game. How long ago was that? That was a pretty good showing, right? 6 for 47 with a tutty, 5 for 61 against the Bears. That's not that bad. That's 3 weeks ago. How about you? What do you say to the Justin Jefferson thought?
Oh, I mean, gosh, I would love it, John, because I love JJ. I want JJ to play better. They just need to get more consistent down and down out with the pass game. A lot of the blame goes to JJ, of course, and then some of it goes to Kevin O'Connell as well.
Yeah, I don't think the play call is that good. The only reason I'm bringing this up is, again, we're at home with the best matchup in the league.
True. For this week, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
As far as like trading for him.
Right. Yeah, trading for him, that might be a little extreme, but
the nice thing is you get him cheap, probably. So
what's that?
You could probably get him super cheap, though.
Oh, well, that's
super
60% of it. Yeah, that's 60% of it. You're like, sometimes I would advise taking a shot. Like you look at your team, you're like, I'm not winning as it stands right now. But if I could maybe trade from strength, take on some risk, get a Justin Jefferson, and it pops, now I may win. If I don't do anything, I'm not winning. You know what I mean? But if I make a move, maybe I do win. Anyway, just
if there were ever a time to trade for Jefferson in Dynasty, this would be it. I mean, this is like the only buy window that Jefferson has had in Dynasty in a couple years.
Right. Well, I will say the other thing too is I don't know how the hell the command. I honestly, full disclosure, I went to bed and missed a lot of that game the other night. I don't know how the hell they came up with a good game plan and got Zach Ertz 10 catches for 100.
It's scary Terry. It's scary Terry.
Do you think he opens it all up?
Oh yeah. Fully healthy too. He looked awesome.
He crushed Surtain on a couple routes. Actually,
yeah,
that was
crazy.
Shocked.
Yeah, the speed's back from McLaurin. I mean, he looked fully healthy. So
I was pumping him up as a player to trade for. He's got the Cowboys week 17.
Yeah, week 17 against Dallas. He gets the Giants. I think it's week 15 too. That's a good matchup as well. So
I do like Debo here though. 2 high safeties and Debo Ertz game.
I agree. Debo looks healthy again too. But the big thing to me is McLaurin. I mean, he really opened up that entire passing offense. That's what we've been saying all year. They don't have anybody that can get open out wide and give them kind of a deep threat.
Yeah. Ertz is unbelievable. I mean, he is incredible. I can't believe it.
You think he's a Hall of Famer, John?
I think we're trending there. I mean, the guy's catching 10 balls for 100. He's like 35.
Yeah. I mean, the track record is the consistency over the track record too is incredible.
Former Lions, that is,
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, and Chris Rodriguez. I know it's precarious, Graham, but if you got to go with somebody, I'm going with Chris Rodriguez. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, they're going with it, but he has no upside because he doesn't play in the passing game. So it's like a touchdown or bust play.
Yeah, I mean, I will say they threw 3 balls at running backs. He did get one of them, and Ja'Cory Krosky didn't get any of them. But I mean, he is a pretty decent receiver, Rodriguez.
Yeah, it's just been all McNichols though. Their main
right,
passing down, hurry up, 2-minute stuff is all going to him.
We don't have any chance to get Daniels back, in your opinion, in this game, do we?
He's still not cleared for contact, so
so no.
I mean, they're dead. I know Daniels seems like a gamer, like he wants to play, but yeah, if you're not cleared for contact, we're probably at least another week away.
Let's go to Miami at the Jets. And Brett, you and I were talking about this earlier today. Like, I lost a Jalen Waddle prop 2 weeks ago. I thought it was a lock. And all they freaking, what's that?
So we both lost that prop, by the way.
Yeah. All they did was hand it off. I'm like, okay, I realized at that point, I'm like, yeah, well, it's all HN now. And the running game is fire right now. They're blocking it up really well. They got Jackson back at right tackle, right? So it's all HN again.
Yeah, this has been, so I was a little early on it. At the beginning of the year, I was saying that this is a team going through an identity shift. They wanted to be a gap team that gets downhill and pounds the rock. And it took them a while to get going, man. But they are officially rolling. Achane's over 1,000 yards rushing already, which is crazy. But this is a really good matchup for him. I know the Jets on paper, they look a little stingy against the run at times. But I like Achane in this matchup. I like his prop at 76.5. So here's the deal with the Jets. They've been terrible on outside runs. C and D gap runs, they've been awful. Bijan just completely nuked them on those types of runs. Achane is number 1 in the league in wide runs. He's got a 12.3 explosive rate on runs that go out wide. So I do really like this matchup. They block it up very well, whether it's outside zone or power counter. It doesn't matter. Like they they dress it up really, really well for HN out there, and he's so explosive. It's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I love him in this matchup.
Yeah, and I bought in after last year. I'm like, all right, well, dude stayed healthy. I'm in. Unfortunately, I bailed because of the bad vibes, and I swapped him out with Josh Jacobs. But this is another year, Graham, where he's piling up the touches, and he's good. So, like, incredible. Do you have any interest in the other back on the field here, Breece Hall, who I lost a freaking receiving prop on last week? Just shocking. He only got 8 yards receiving.
Yeah, Achan is just the man. He was key target last year, previous year, and this year. I fear that next year is probably going to be the year where I don't get a ton of him on all my teams. You look real quick before we talk Jets. Like, he has been awesome, like in losses, because he has such a high passing down role, but especially great in the Dolphins wins because Mike McDaniel is just like leaning on this run game.
It's like CMC.
Yeah, it is. It's a CMC-like role. You look at the 5 wins Miami has this year. 2 has attempted 25, 26, 21, 20, and 23 passes. So like that's their game plan. When they're ahead, it's all Achan, and this week they're 3-point favorites. So I mean, this is just he's arguably the best play on the slate. As for Breece Hall, I think he's a must start as well. I was surprised, as you were, that he only got 2 targets last week, but I mean, the volume has been incredible, 20 or more touches, and 4 out of his last 5 games. He's got all the, goal line work to himself. Isaiah Davis will cut in for some passing downs, but yeah, it's another really good spot for him. This game should be pretty close, 1-score game. That's what the spread's implying. So, I like Breece quite a bit. I think the big play for us this week to try and get right is Adonai Mitchell. The usage was already really good before the last week's boom game. He had 100 yards, obviously looked fantastic last week again, ton of separation. Finally, his hands worked. But 22, 25, 36% of the team targets in his last 3 games. I'll fully admit, like I didn't foresee the big Mitchell blow-up game coming last week. But, Tyrod's kind of given them a little bit of consistency under center. At least they're able to get first downs now. Like that's the big thing. They're able to stay on the field. They just couldn't stay on the field with Fields. It could be Mechie. I could be wrong about this, but I think Adonai Mitchell is trending up as their clear number 1 receiver.
I actually told several people on our live stream last week to start AD Mitchell because we got some questions. And I'm like, all right, do you want upside? And they were like, yes. I'm like, all day. AD Mitchell because of the single high safety stuff. I know you have an angle too on AD Mitchell, Brett, this week.
Yeah, I mean, Graham covered it pretty well, but like he's up to almost a 90% route share. I expect him to be over 90 this week, actually. And then he's led the team in target share every week he's put on a Jets jersey. That I didn't see that coming. Like I knew they were bad at receiver, but I did not expect the guy who doesn't know the playbook to step in and lead the team in target share every week. So I do think it's Mitchell. His prop is 46.5 for a guy who plays 90% of the route, runs 90% of the routes, is going to lead the team in targets. That's a pretty low number there. So
how much of the routes are, shorter routes?
He kind of lives in the intermediate world. Some deep stuff too, but it's like I think it's like 55% in that 10 to 19 range, which is where you want him. He's a true route winner, and that's where it matters. So
right. So I kind of view him as, if you're looking for fantasy, I view Mechie as the floor play, the PPR guy, 4 or 5 grabs, 56 yards. Give me my 9.7 points. But if I want upside, I want AD Mitchell. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's super fair. And if you're a Jets fan, I mean, I hate to pour too much optimism on you, but you got a nice little trio going with Mechie, Mitchell, and then when Garrett Wilson comes back, like I think the future looks way better at receiver than it did 3 weeks ago. That's for dang sure.
Yeah. And a little Mason Taylor. It's not too shabby. I love Mechie. I've always been a Mechie guy. No doubt about it. I have no opinion on AD Mitchell, though. I've never really delved into those waters, but until last week, ironically. But that was a fantasy points data thing. The data looked good, and I did my look into it. I'm like, yeah, I could see this totally. I mean, the guy is going into last week. He was like 3rd in the league in targets in his last 3 games. I'm like, they're peppering this dude. Go to the Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Brett, I'll go to you. And I don't know how really if other people. I do work with a couple of people who hate Shuck like our guy Brian Drake, who rips Shuck, but I've kind of been a supporter of Shucks. And now I'm to the point where like I kind of trust him more than I do maybe 12 plus other guys. I know that sounds crazy. But what do you see here? And I think Devon Villay finally got up to speed on the offense, and all of a sudden he's kind of a thing, and I could see it continuing.
Yeah, I mean, Shuck's completing a lot of passes. I think that's a positive. He's making mistakes that just kind of blow your mind a lot, though.
Right.
Some of the sacks he takes, or I mean, he went full Will Levis the other day too. That was really bad.
He takes some really bad sacks.
Yeah, he does.
But, Brett, that first touchdown throw, not the first touchdown, the second touchdown throw, that touch throw, man, that was big league. Like he makes some really great throws.
I will never argue with anyone about his arm talent. He has arm talent in droves for sure. That is 100% true.
They should
more so than Rattler.
Rattler's got arm talent too. I mean, both these guys are. They've played very similarly, actually. That's what's hilarious.
Shuck's just a little more aggressive, though.
He's a little more aggressive downfield, and Rattler thought he was a better runner than he probably is.
He thought he was. That's so funny. Shuck's a decent runner though too. I mean, he's good at creating outside of structure. I don't know. I hesitate to say the Saints have like found their long-term starter, but Shuck can play for sure. I was on Shuck for DFS last week. Tyrod Taylor and Shuck were both like kind of the nuts in DFS. I think this is another great spot for Shuck. I do get concerned that Todd Bowles is going to blitz him to death, and we'll get some just hilarious highlights of him taking horrible sacks. But he's going to be aggressive. He throws downfield, pretty aggressively. He was top three in deep throw rate. I mean, Vele doesn't move particularly well, John, but the targets are going to go to three places: him, Olave, and Johnson. So
I think Villay is going to kill Johnson.
Yeah, they're going to eat into each other. They kind of win in the same parts of the field, right? So
both big slots, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But that's you would want a big slot if you're coaching Tyler Shuck, right? Like you got a big body guy in the middle of the field.
They have two. They can run a little seam action going. Olave can just do whatever. I mean, Olave could win short and deep.
As far as I'm concerned, all I care about with Shuck is don't kill the receivers, and he's not.
Yep. In fact, I think he might actually, over the course of the rest of the season, might be a good thing just because he is more aggressive.
Right. No, I felt that too. Tampa Bay, Brett, like Baker did his best last week. He looked relatively healthy. Where do you think they are right now, and how better? I think they could potentially be a completely different team in like 2 weeks. Bucky Irvin back, Big Mike back, maybe even McMillan.
Yeah, I did the Daily Show with Theo yesterday, and he asked me, he's like, hey, if there's one quarterback that you could pivot to help you win your fantasy championship, who is it? I said Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Bucky getting healthy, I think, is a huge help. It didn't manifest in box score stats, but the difference between Bucky and Rachaad White is crazy. The tackle breaking potential.
Yeah.
The burst was a little lagging still. I think that will come back as he gets more reps. The offensive line getting healthy. Mike Evans might be coming back next week. Chris Godwin looks good again.
Godwin looked great.
McMillan got activated today. Did I see that? Or they
opened the window.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, they're getting healthy at the right time. And then here's the thing. Their next 4 opponents, New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, Miami, 4 relatively bad pass defenses. So this is a really, like, they're ramping up here. I think this is going to be a really good stretch for Baker in this pass offense. So, yeah, I'm all in on this. I think he looks good too. He kind of had like a 3-week period where he just kind of looked lost out there, but I thought he looked pretty good. So
right. How about our guy Devin Neal, Graham? And hey, they gave him like almost all the carries. Yeah. They weren't throwing to him until at the end, and he still got his 3 grabs for 22 or whatever. I mean, you could do a lot worse than Devin Neal.
Roll was even better than I thought it would be. I thought he'd be like a 65-ish, 70%. Like, nah, they just made him a full-blown bell cow, 80% of the snaps. Obviously got, like you said, led the team in carries, but, getting all of the passing down work is huge. I mean, it just gives him a really, really high floor. One concern, obviously Saints haven't been able to run the ball at all really this year, and Bucs have been really good against the run. That is my concern again this week. No big plays here, but yeah, we're going to chase the volume all day as like a, low end RB2 or really good flex play.
Yeah. Taysom Hill only had 1 carry. So.
Yeah, that was a surprise. And I think that's the right call because watching Taysom this year, he's not the same player.
like I wrote somewhere on Devin Neal, I'm like, hey, this guy, I interviewed him at the Senior Bowl, which means he was a senior, which means he played a lot. And as far as rookies go, he's pretty well prepared dude. And I like that guy too, by the way. Good vibes on that dude. So we'll move on to Denver at the Raiders. Graham, how about Sean Payton hiring Eli Moore? Now they got Elijah Moore. He's in his underground lair preparing route combinations for Eli Moore.
Yeah, let's get another receiver in this rotation here. Didn't Elijah Moore have a great game against Broncos last year too? Yeah, he did.
That does
just
sound
put up
familiar.
the game log. 8 for 100. So
There you go.
He remembered that game. In all seriousness, Pat Bryant is starting to play more season high route share. I think that really hurts Troy Franklin. Unfortunately, Franklin's had like a little bit of a breakout back half of the year. But if we're gonna do Sean Payton things and we're gonna have these receiver rotations,
and Marvin Mims lingers.
Yeah, Mims lingering. Ingram still taking 5, 6, 7 targets a game. You can't unfortunately use Franklin or Bryant. This is a great spot for Cortland Sutton. Raiders have just been getting killed by outside receivers all year. I have just a big concern in this game in general because, like, how are the Raiders going to move the ball against this Broncos defense? Like, it's going to be Brock Bowers, but we saw 2 weeks ago, John, that they had a really good plan against Bowers. So which
I called, by the way, and I think they're going to do the same.
You
thing.
did, and it's like, man, like I want to like a little bit of this Broncos bounce back, this offense look better against Washington, but this is a really. It's not because the matchup is hard. It's just a really bad game environment.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about the Raiders at this point. That is true. I forgot about that. I thought because Bowers was coming off a big game, and I'm like, all right, well, Chip Kelly's going to just pepper this guy with targets, and no, he didn't. And then Chip Kelly got relieved of his duties a couple of weeks ago because, well, the Raiders are duty. See what I did there? How about RJ Harvey? Brett, still a rookie, but it does seem like there's some work to be done if we have designs on RJ Harvey having a good chunk of their running game going forward.
Yeah. I actually went and rewatched all of his carries yesterday. He started the season just really unimpressive to me. Vision was suspect, but he looks better. I see clear development week over week. I think one thing that's worth pointing out too is coming out of UCF, he was in a really gap-heavy scheme where it's mostly counter and power, where it's like his whole goal with pace and vision was setting up pulling blockers, and the Broncos just don't do that. They're like a duo-heavy, outside zone, inside zone heavy team. It really is like learning new football for him. So the biggest way I measure a player's vision is how they perform in short yardage situations. Third and one, fourth and one, goal line stuff, and he passes that test with flying colors. He's very decisive, very explosive. So I think the vision's coming alive here. It has like the yards per carry are still trash. They have some other schematic issues too that are causing them problems, but we won't get into all that right now. But
some running backs are not great in both schemes. I remember 2012, man. Our guy Kaplan interviewed Darren McFadden at Raiders training camp, and he said he loved the zone scheme, even though he'd not really done it. And then the season came, and he did not love it. He stunk, and it was brutal. So that kind of conjured that memory up in my head. Anywho, Graham, anything else on this game?
Nah, that pretty much covers it, I think.
I would pick up and then trade immediately Evan Ingram, by the way. Just pick him up and then trade him. Because, he has real quick. I don't know if you guys look at you probably don't because we're looking at the data suite and all that. But there are a couple of teams, by the way, giving up in the last 5 weeks to quarterbacks like 10 points a game. 10. Did you know that, Graham?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a really rough midseason for passing, so it doesn't surprise me, yeah.
I mean, isn't that stunning, though? 10? Like, I remember 10 years ago, it was like most teams were giving up 22.
It's not surprising, given how bad some of these offenses have really been.
Yeah. By the way, not to go off on a tangent, but I did kind of theorize that it was a year to go wide receiver in round 1 this summer. And I just saw like maybe a drop off with the running backs, and I looked 10 years ago or 9 years ago. I think at this point there were 9 guys who already had 1,000 yards rushing, and this year it's only like three or four. So even the running's not as good. Let's move on to the LA Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. I'll go right back to you, Graham. Sean, I think it was LaFleur, the OC, talking about they want to keep Kyron fresh. Yeah, I mean, I think Blake Corum is a thing here down the stretch. I think it's, I don't say a dual two-headed monster, but your thoughts on the Ram backfield with Corum coming on?
Yeah, he's kind of already been a thing. They give him a drive
right,
like once, basically it's like 2 Kyron drives and then Corum drive, and they've been rotating that. I could see Corum playing even more. It would definitely buck the Sean McVay trend of having a bell cow. And, at the end of the day, though, I mean, Corum is pretty similar player to Kyron. He probably just has a little more burst. Kyron's great in the pass game, though. I still think he's a really good blocker.
They don't use Corum at all in the passing game.
Well, they don't use I was about to say, they don't ever throw to the running backs anyway. It's all Puka and Adams. I mean, Stafford threw 2 picks early in that game. Then he had the fumble late. Otherwise had a great game. I know the fantasy numbers weren't fantastic. He hurt me in a few leagues, that's for sure. But this is another really good game. Cardinals just don't have that good of a pass rush. Bottom 10 in all metrics that matter for pass rush. Their secondary is pretty suspect too. I mean, this is an unbelievable bounce back spot for Stafford here.
Anything from you on this game, Brett? Anything jump out to you?
No.
Rams, Cardinals, Michael Wilson era over.
No, I don't think so either.
Fully back.
Yeah, Harrison's hurt too.
Oh, right. We got hurt. Yeah. No, I will say, we were just talking, I don't even know, I think it was off the air, about these quarterbacks and the struggle bus. Thank God for Jacoby Brissett. It's amazing. I said a month ago that he reminded me of a Hall of Famer at the tail end of his career. In other words, like you could see that he's pretty good, but he's not great, like Warren Moon or something, like just the professional is just going to go out there and throw it 38 times a game and complete a high, rate of passes. Is not going to look amazing, but compared to these other scrubs out there in the NFL, it's pretty good. I mean, guy gets 280 plus pretty much every single damn week. And Graham, they also signed a running back off the practice squad.
Yeah, not looking good for Benson. He's not practicing today. He had that meniscus tear. So I'm now thinking we might not see Benson this year because he's got to play, I think, this week or next. They got to bring him up at least.
Activate him by tomorrow, actually.
Oh, there you go.
He's done. It's over.
There you go.
Wow.
I could be wrong on that. It's either tomorrow or the Thursday after, but they have to activate him or else he goes on season-long IR.
Right.
Yeah, well, that looks like that's going to be happening here. And, I mean, Bam Knight's the guy to have, but Carter's still involved as well. And we'll see about DeMarcado, of course. That's annoying. We'll do Chicago Bears at Green Bay Packers next up. And, well, big game, huge game, first of 2 matchups within the next 3 weeks. And what is your confidence level in Caleb Williams? Brett, I know he's playing a little bit better. He's a little bit more in control, but when you're relying on hero ball against Green Bay, I don't think it's going to go well.
No, Caleb's not playing better.
Okay, good. Okay,
he was
I didn't
terrible
think so.
last week.
He was terrible. It is, as a Lions fan, so frustrating to watch them win 9 games with Caleb playing the way he is. I'm just like, but whatever. Hey, kudos to Ben Johnson. The approach with team building was correct. Rebuilding the interior offensive line. What they did to the Eagles needs to be studied. Like they just, literally ran right through their face. I mean, and no one does that to the Eagles with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and Moro Ojomo. Like they are stacked inside. And
those guys took the week off.
It's something. It was crazy, man. And they've been doing that to everybody though. So Monungai and Swift is the new Monty and Gibbs, and we're just trucking everybody. But I just, the Green Bay matchup's a lot harder, all the way around. Like their pass is excellent. Their pass rush is disgusting. And they get after it in the run game too. So this will really, they passed their first test with the Eagles last week. I think for the Bears, this is the test right here. This will tell us if they're for real or not. So
no, I mean, somebody got into my ear with Caleb. I'm with you guys. Look, I wrote yesterday, trade his ass. He's got the Packers this week and then the Packers in 2 weeks. Like, can you trust any receiver at this point? I sure as hell don't trust Rome Odunze at this point.
None. He had a wide open Odunze for a touchdown and just short hopped him. I mean, it was a throw where his feet needed to be set and he just tried to fling it all arm and it came up short. Yeah, this has been Odunze's dropped too many passes this year. Let's call a spade a spade. But yeah, I mean, Williams is still struggling with accuracy. I think the one major area he's improved upon is his sack avoidance. He's not just taking those really bad, dumb, long sacks like he did last year, but yeah, the accuracy, time to throw, it's all still a concern. And it's definitely a concern this week. I'm a little mad at myself because I've called a lot of Caleb Williams' big games and they've come in easy matchups. Last week, I wrote him up as a start against the Eagles and just thinking like, hey, he'll run some, right? And he just didn't. It was all that Bears run game, like Brett was saying, looking incredible. I'm sitting Caleb Williams this week. I mean, this is a really tough matchup against a great pass rush. And I mean, Ben Johnson is he's the man. I mean, that's one of the best run game plans I've ever seen in the NFL. The Eagles literally had no idea where the ball was sometimes. They had their linebackers in hell. It was unbelievable.
That was unbelievable. No doubt. Well, on the other side, I don't feel warm and fuzzy, Brett, about Jordan Love in this matchup. He got 261/1 with a pick in his lone game against the Bears last year. He ran a touchdown in. They are loaded at receiver and all that, and Watson's been great. So maybe he won't be bad, but I don't know. I'm not convinced he's going to be good. I don't know if they get Jaden Reed back. What do you think about Love this week?
I mean, Chicago's pass defense has been bad all year. I mean, they're 7.6 yards per attempt. They're bottom 10 in EPA allowed per drop back. I mean, I really do. I think it is a good matchup for him. The thing with Jordan Love is if he doesn't face a pass rush, he's going to eat you alive. That's what he does. And the Bears don't really have a pass rush. So
even with Jalen Johnson and Kyle Gordon back,
they don't play enough man coverage for it to really matter to me.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, they do have some reinforcements back.
Yeah, they have some for sure. I was just gonna say Christian Watson just looks phenomenal.
Too good. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Right.
I don't know how you get better when you're sitting for, a year, but he did. So
no, he's angry out there. He's playing angrily. Like he's playing with like a lot of energy. He's aggressive. I mean, you can totally see that. And yeah, I mean, he is absolutely, like I said about 3 weeks ago, like, I started using this term commanding the ball, like, and it's kind of an obnoxious statement, but I'm saying like, this guy's this good. Like you have to throw to him.
Yep.
Is that Watson?
Yeah. I mean, he's got a gravitational pull to him for sure.
Right. Well, on that note, Graham, real quick, before we take a pause, one guy did list, and again, I'm trying to do any small little edge. How about a little Josh Jacobs? He looked pretty good last week. I know injuries are a problem, but when I look at the schedule, I personally, weather getting cold, I can see them reestablishing Jacobs. Bears, Broncos, Bears, Ravens, Vikings. Broncos might be tough, but any thoughts on Jacobs going forward?
Yeah, I thought he looked normal last week, had his usual burst. I think Jacobs has lost a step this year. Doesn't look like he has that foot, but I've been thinking that since week 1. So, for what he's been this season, he looked the exact same guy. And then obviously, like you said, Jordan Love played a great game last week, hogged all the touchdowns. That's been the opposite of what we've seen with this whole offense for 2 years now. So yeah, Jacobs bounce back. I certainly buy that.
You think, what did you think of Jacobs last week, Brett?
Yeah, I thought he looked good. He got loose on what broke Lions contain on one run for, was it a 30-yarder or something like that? I thought he looked really good. Yeah. The tackle breaking potential is always there. But this schedule, you mentioned it, John, this schedule coming up is dynamite. So
exactly.
He should, like, if you have him on your roster and you're about to be in the fantasy playoffs, man, he's going to be good.
That's why I had him as a trade. Yeah. And moving on here. Did we miss any points here? No, I don't think we did, right? We think we hit it all. The Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs. And Brett, last week I thought things looked pretty good. I see Woody Marks as it's almost like a placeholder guy. Like, we're not crushing you with our running game, but Woody Marks is going to give us enough to where we'll stay ahead of the down. We're not going to really use him in the passing game, apparently, but we're going to, come out here with Nico Collins and Jaden Higgins. We're going to throw it to Schultz. I thought everything looked pretty good last week, and Stroud looked solid.
Yeah, Marks looks good. He looks like he belongs. Absolutely. The pass down stuff is hilarious because he was one of the most accomplished receiving backs coming out of the draft this year. So,
It was a specialty.
yeah, that was his specialty.
It's like Tyrone Tracy, a former receiver. Let's put him at running back and never throw him the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot, we remember the Senior Bowl. Woody Marks was tearing people up in the passing drills. So, yeah, big fan of that. But he looks good. Stroud, I thought, was a step back from what Davis Mills had been giving them.
Oh, boy.
I'm hoping it's just rust for Stroud, and he'll be good this week. So.
But the offense looked all right, though, didn't it, or no?
For sure. They've figured some things out with the O-line a little bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's good by any stretch, but it's better, and it's consistent. They're sorting out stunts and blitzes way better than they were, and I think the communication, they found their 5 is what it is. They found their 5, and it's been pretty good for them. So
right, and then I know they're working in Hutchinson, but it does feel like they're kind of centralizing things a little bit to Higgins, Nico, and Schultz, which is smart. Over for KC, Graham, what pops for you? Xavier Worthy is. I mean, I'm sorry, but there's just not much going on here. This is a guy that is just a guy. You know, you can pick up that guy anywhere.
I think he's worse than just a guy. I mean, he's been below that. You look at the 9 career games that he's played with Rashee Rice, John. He's averaging 8.7 PPR points per game. That's below replacement level. I mean, it's just like you can't even use this guy. I've been writing up as a sit for a month now, basically since Rice came back. I'm going to keep doing that, especially in this spot. Texans have been hell for outside receivers. They obviously just do so much to get Rice the ball. I think Kelsey will be fine too. I am a little concerned about the Chiefs in this spot, though. I mean, you're never benching Patrick Mahomes, especially this season, especially now because Chiefs have to win out and try to stay alive in this AFC wild card hunt. But that being said, I mean, Texans are just beating the crap out of teams. I mean, they're just really physical up front. Chiefs obviously have had offensive line issues for years now, and this is certainly not a great spot for that. I mean, Texans have been getting a pass rush on everybody.
Yeah, I think it'll be Travis Kelce, Brett, and probably Rashee, all the underneath stuff, right?
Total. Yeah, I mean, Rashee should eat. Kelsey should eat. Worthy will be eliminated from this game for sure. So.
Yep, and I bold prediction. I think KC is going to lose like at least one of the next 4. At least one.
If this game weren't in KC, I think I'd bet on Houston winning.
Right.
Their defense is that good. It's in Arrowhead.
I'm taking.
You don't bet against Mahomes in Arrowhead.
No, I'm taking Houston to win.
All right. I mean, I thought about it honestly. I mean, when I was looking up this game this morning, I'm like, man, Houston just lines up so well. But
right, they may not make the playoffs. That'd be absolutely wild, man. That would be insane. And then our last game, Philadelphia at the LA Chargers. I happen to note that our data suite, at least the schematics, does not like this one for Jalen Hurts. I don't know where we go after last week. AJ Brown's like Jekyll and Hyde. I guess we're good now again. Going off last week. What'd you see out of Philly? Is there any hope, by the way, for Saquon Barkley? I do think that there's a 4-game run where I understand it's kind of the definition of insanity essentially is in week 14 and beyond, expecting something that hasn't happened all year to happen. But Chargers, Raiders, Commanders, Bills does look pretty damn good for Barkley.
For sure. As far as Hurts versus this Chargers secondary, Chargers, so Hurts does really good against man. AJ Brown does really good against man. On the season, the Chargers have played like no man.
No man.
They're like bottom 3. But the last 5 weeks, they have upticked quite a bit. They're like middle of the pack now in man. The last 5 weeks. So I mean, it's worth noting. It's still like low. It's like 25% or something. Yeah. Maybe lower than that. So it's not a ton of snaps, but it's a little bit better than we would think. I think it's a Devontae Smith game, probably though, not a AJ Brown game.
Right.
AJ Brown is playing fantastic right now, though, so it's hard to like bet against him. But I do think it's a speedy game. And then to your point, Saquon. Well, I don't know though. I don't trust Saquon at all right now. He's been so disappointing. I mean, the what was their last game? The Bears. He should have steamrolled the Bears, and it was just meh. So.
Their run defense, I think, has been a little up and down, like Chicago. Like, there was a moment where I thought they were great about 8 weeks ago. Then they stunk for like 6 weeks. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I do know that Aaron Hampton is trending toward playing, Graham. So I'm plugging him right on in here. Even though it's Philly, they did get run on last week, but Hampton can do it in the passing attack. So what do you think here? If somebody out there has Hampton, like I say, unless you're loaded, don't even deliberate. Just plop them on in there.
I agree. RB2. There was a quote from Harbaugh last week that kind of caught my eye. He was basically saying we might run a hot hand with Vidal and Hampton when Hampton's back. And I mean, Vidal looked really good last week.
He did.
Hampton's coming off. He had I think multiple broken bones in his ankle and foot, I read.
That's true.
So there's a real chance they kind of slow play him. I think if you've been waiting this long for Hampton and you're still alive, yeah, you probably just have to play him. But yeah, I don't think he's like a must start by any means.
They've not rushed him back, though. I mean, that kind of seems like it bodes fairly well.
Yeah, they've not rushed him back. That's right. And in this spot, John, I mean, I'm very concerned about the Chargers' pass offense. Herbert, will he be able to go under center with this wrist injury?
Right.
He's going to be playing with a big, bulky brace or some sort of, I mean, he's going to have some sort of level of protection. Like, are they going to be able to go under center and do play action stuff? And it's already a tough matchup. Like, Eagles just got trucked in the run game last week. Yeah, sure, but they were still very stingy in the secondary. They've been stingy all year, and they're killing tight ends. Like, I'm not concerned about Oronde Gadsden last week. Herbert only threw it 20 times. You just kind of have to throw that game script out. This week, though, I mean, it's a really tough matchup. Eagles have been erasing tight ends.
They have been.
Fewest yards per target, fewest yards per game allowed. So really, to me, like, I think this has to be a lad game. Like, I know the Eagles have been really good in the interior and slot, but they've got to get McConkey going a little bit, get him some chunk run type situations. It's a tough spot though for this Chargers offense, man. Like, they're going to have to run the ball and lean on Hampton and Vidal, I think.
I mean, Brett, it's been an exercise in futility trying to break down Keenan Allen, but I almost think maybe a Keenan Allen game. Ladd, I agree that he seems to be a centerpiece of the offense still, much more so than Quentin Johnson and Allen, and probably more than Gadsden. But yeah, I mean, he'll see Cooper DeJean. Any thoughts here on the Chargers?
Yeah, as far as Keenan goes, so what's been put on tape is when you play the Eagles, you want to get their third corner on the field.
100%.
That's the thing. And so teams have figured that out. In fact, the Bears had all that success running the ball last week from 11 personnel, getting the third receiver on the field because, it just changes the dynamic a lot. So I think this is a game where Keenan should get a lot of run because they're going to see that and they're going to play three receivers more than they have been. So, yeah, I think maybe Keenan is pretty active in this game. I'm a little worried about Hampton. Not to go back to that point, but Vidal's played really good, and he's also just fantastic in the pass game as a pass protector.
He's not bad. Yeah.
With the pass protection issues they've had and with Herbert being hurt, and just the continuity of Vidal's been there for the last 8 weeks or whatever.
Right. Okay.
I could see them really, like, the hot hand thing makes a ton of sense to me. And it's also worth noting, Herbert can't hand the ball off to his right. So, because that's a left-handed handoff. They tried it one time. They had one exchange with Vidal last week where it was going to the right, and it was rough. He had to two-hand it. They almost fumbled the exchange, actually. Everything else, even if they wanted to run right, they would do it out of pistol and have Herbert use his right hand and then cut back behind Herbert. It's rough. So I'm concerned about the run game in general. Vidal and Hampton are going to have to make their money in the pass game, I think, unfortunately.
Well, to your point, we've got two pretty powerful offenses here, and we got a total of 40.5, which is
I was just thinking this might be just Trey Lance because the Chargers team total is 18.8. I mean, that to me screams they're thinking Lance.
Yeah.
It's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
We did have 8 games last week, though, go under 40. So,
How many?
8 games last week.
Oh, no. That explains my pain from week 13. That right there. Well, on that note, we'll end it. And we are expecting some more trips on the struggle bus in general in terms of, pointage and all that. We'll just pick our spots the best we can, cover it the best we can, be predictive as best as we can, like on this here pod, but certainly continue to monitor everything over the week. for all the other live streams, podcasts, and obviously all the content. I mean, you could probably spend 2 days consuming all the content on Friday and Saturday gearing up for Week 14. We'll wrap it here for Graham Barfield and Brett Whitefield. I'm John Hansen. Good luck in the regular season finale in Week 14, and we'll catch you next week here on fantasypoints.com.